The courtroom was silent, tension hanging thick in the air. A decorated officer, Brandon Miller, stood accused of crimes he didn't commit, his fate sealed by a single damning word: guilty. His loyal K-9 partner, Rex, watched from the back of the room, his sharp eyes locked on Brandon as if sensing the injustice unfolding. But what happened next would shock everyone and change everything. Where are you watching from? Share in the comments below and be sure to hit subscribe for more inspiring stories like this. Welcome to Timeless Stories, where we share stories that inspire courage, loyalty, and triumph against all odds. If you believe in the power of resilience and the bond of trust, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss stories like this one. The courtroom was eerily silent. The judge's gavel came down hard, the sound reverberating off the walls. "Guilty," the judge declared, and the weight of that single word shattered Brandon Miller's life. A decorated officer with 15 years on the force, Brandon sat in disbelief, handcuffed and accused of crimes he didn't commit. His heart sank under the crushing verdict. Brandon's K-9 partner, Rex, a sharp-eyed German shepherd, sat quietly at the back of the courtroom, his intense gaze locked on Brandon. To Rex, Brandon wasn't just a partner, but his entire world. But now, as Brandon faced prison for a crime he didn't commit, his greatest sorrow wasn't the bars that awaited him. It was knowing he might never see Rex again. Before being escorted out, Brandon mustered the courage to address the judge. "Your Honor," he said, his voice trembling but firm, "I have one request. Please let me say goodbye to Rex." A murmur of surprise rippled through the courtroom. The judge hesitated, then nodded. "3 minutes," he said firmly. As soon as Rex was released, the dog bolted to Brandon, his claws clicking against the courtroom floor. Brandon dropped to his knees, pulling Rex into a tight embrace. "I'm sorry, buddy," Brandon whispered, tears streaming down his face. "I let you down. I won't be there anymore." Rex whimpered, nuzzling into Brandon's chest. But then, something changed. Rex's body tensed. His nose began working frantically against Brandon's jacket. He tugged at the fabric, barking sharply. The sudden noise shattered the solemn stillness of the courtroom. "What is that dog doing?" the judge asked, his frown deepening. Rex pulled harder, his sharp barks echoing in the room. An officer approached cautiously, checking Brandon's jacket. Then, with a metallic clink, a small object fell to the floor. A hush fell over the room. It was a recording device. The prosecutor's face turned pale. He stepped forward, stammering, This doesn't prove anything." But Rex barked again, his unyielding stance demanding attention. The judge's voice cut through the tension. "Activate the device," he ordered. The room held its breath as the officer pressed play. Static crackled, followed by a gruff voice. "Just plant the evidence. No one will question it. Miller's spotless record makes him the perfect scapegoat." Gasps erupted. Brandon's heart raced. The voice on the recording was unmistakable. Chief Ray Harper, his trusted mentor. The prosecutor tried to interrupt, but the judge slammed his gavel. "This trial is far from over," he declared. "Officers, take this device as evidence. We're reopening the case." Brandon's hope flickered for the first time in weeks. As he was led back to his cell, he glanced at Rex. Their eyes met, and Brandon silently vowed he wouldn't let this injustice stand. Behind closed doors, the judge replayed the recording. The damning words were clear evidence of a conspiracy. He summoned Chief Harper for questioning. Meanwhile, Sarah Mitchell, Brandon's former colleague and close friend, took Rex under her care. Rex's sharp instincts didn't waver. At the K-9 unit, he paced restlessly, occasionally barking at Sarah's jacket. She crouched down, meeting Rex's intense gaze. "What is it, boy?" she asked. Rex's nose pressed against her pocket, prompting Sarah to search. She found a crumpled note Brandon had left behind, hinting at evidence hidden in his locker. Guided by Rex, Sarah found an envelope tucked beneath Brandon's belongings. Inside were photographs and documents linking Chief Harper to a criminal network. The evidence painted a clear picture. Brandon had been framed, and Harper was at the center of it all. The judge called an emergency hearing. The courtroom buzzed as the evidence was presented. Financial transactions, altered reports, and Harper's voice on the recording. With every revelation, the web of corruption unraveled. Harper was detained, but Brandon knew this went deeper. Back at the precinct, Sarah and Brandon, now cleared of all charges, worked tirelessly to expose the full network. Rex, ever the loyal partner, led them to hidden files and overlooked evidence. One night, Rex sniffed out a forgotten case file. Inside were details of a botched operation 5 years earlier, revealing names and payments tied to the conspiracy. But the deeper they dug, the more dangerous it became. Threats started pouring in, culminating in an attack on their safe house. Armed intruders stormed the cabin, forcing Brandon, Sarah, and Rex to fight for their lives. Amid the chaos, Rex's bravery shone. He brought down an attacker, buying enough time for Sarah to escape with the evidence. Moments later, sirens blared as reinforcements arrived, bringing the harrowing ordeal to an end. Days later, the evidence Sarah delivered to a trusted journalist made national headlines. Arrests swept through the department, reaching the highest levels. The mastermind behind the conspiracy, a powerful local figure, was finally exposed. Brandon's name was cleared, but his journey wasn't over. Standing on his porch with Rex by his side, Brandon reflected on everything they'd endured. "We did it, buddy," he said softly. "It's finally over." Rex wagged his tail, leaning into Brandon's touch, a symbol of unbreakable loyalty. This story reminds us of the power of truth, loyalty, and courage. If Rex's unwavering faith in Brandon moved you, let it inspire you to stand for what's right, no matter the odds. Hit the like button, share the story, and subscribe to Timeless Stories for more tales of resilience and triumph. And remember, true partnerships can overcome even the darkest trials. What would you do if faced with such a fight for justice? Share your thoughts in the comments below.